If you're in a conversation and you bring up Microsoft, there is a whole range of emotions that goes along with that, all the way from innovation and all the cool things that they're inventing all the time to the perhaps darker side of a big bad company pushing down on the little guys. Coming here from India and rising through the ranks, Satya Nadella writes Hitting Refresh, or how he plans on bringing Microsoft to the forefront of culture. And he covers lots of interesting things, but is it just a propaganda piece and a good marketing on behalf of Microsoft, or some really good business lessons that we can pull out of this? Let's find out. Lots of people have been recommending this book, and there are three different areas that they're going into. One is his personal life and how he views things, how Microsoft culture is changing, and then finally some things to look at in the future. A significant portion of the book is him discussing his challenges that he has with his personal life, with immigrating to the US, and different choices he had to make as he advanced his career. And I find this interesting, in particular, his journey to become more empathetic. As technical people, we're usually considered very dry, very serious, and not very caring. And he presents himself as this type of person early on in the book. However, he goes on to talk about how as he and his family are presented with challenges, that his empathy grows. And he brings this up later in having the Microsoft culture of trying to make people not be the smartest person in the room. And this is where he gets most of his pushback from, if you read news articles and things along those lines, of his notes that are going out there of strategic vision, of changing the culture, of doing the things, of being a way to lead the world in the right direction. They get a lot of pushback. The challenge I have is whether or not he's being authentic. As he's discussing these different things, I feel like it needs to go deeper as he's going down these different routes. However, these are tough topics, right? Now, I really enjoyed how he addressed the value that Microsoft was providing for the world and how they needed to change it. Now that we have declining PC sales, declining mobile sales for Windows, he was talking about, hey, these are the different things that we need to concentrate on now. And I think that really was very useful to see how a big player like Microsoft would look at the world and make strategic changes, and what are some of the thoughts behind doing that. Now, granted, he came from a cloud environment and he's betting heavily on the cloud, so it's very interesting to see how those ideas and those justifications of that are coming out. With that, it's interesting how he discusses the collaboration with some of his classic competitors like Google and Apple. Instead of competing with them in the mobile market, he's shifting to provide the software for those different devices. And that's how he believes he'll be able to lead Microsoft into a more competitive environment. And this might just be pandering to shareholders of saying, hey, we have a direction and this is great. But it really does show a value stream of how they are moving things around to better address challenges and opportunities in the market. And I really enjoyed hearing that thinking and then applying some of that to other traditional businesses. And then there was discussion of the other interesting things that are around the corner, from AI and the disruption that it will cause to the HoloLens and augmented reality and how great that is. A lot of this stuff sounded the most marketing ploy ever, where he brings up, hey, this is a great Microsoft technology, this will solve the future, and back and forth on that line. More interesting to me was the talking back and forth between, hey, the problems of security, challenges of maintaining that security, also maintaining availability, and like working this back and forth of technology challenges that we're looking at as tech companies come much, much bigger, and their responsibilities to both us and to their governments they're working on and to the community as a whole. I think that's a very interesting conversation he brings up, but a little misplaced in this book. So if I had to rank these three themes out of how useful they were, really looking at how Microsoft is trying to shift and change and how you would move this huge ship, steer that onto a course for the future was very interesting. The personal life story stuff was interesting insofar that it brought to light some challenges that I'm just not aware of, being who I am, guy from the Midwest, very different challenges than a young man from India trying to figure out his position and place in life. Then I think all the futurism stuff, we could probably just set that aside. I just felt like it was too much marketing of, hey, these are the sweet products we have. It really detracts from the great stuff he's talking about earlier. Actually, it'd be very interesting to see how he performs over the next few years. He's been doing a great job up till now, but he's been there about 4 years. And the average length for a CEO at an American company right now is 5 years. Be fun to see how that all plays out. And I think it really changes out the perspective of this book. Do some of these future ideas pan out? How about his culture change? How about some of his values that he is seeking for Microsoft too? We'll see. But until next time, if you have another book or something else you would recommend or would like me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks. Bye.